Report, the movie podcast where Sean
and Mampy
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat shit. We are the law.
And guess what we saw?
The Fall Guy. Directed by David Leitch. Starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. Is that her name?
Too. Yep. Oh, yeah.
And the guy from Us.
Something. Winston Churchill. Winston.
It is close to Winston.
Winston King.
Zedmore.
Winston Black
I don't remember what his real name is. I don't remember what his character's name is.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
But that doesn't matter.
Dan. His name's
we
Dan.
Watched it. It's not
Dan.
fucking Dan.
It's Dan. I'm telling you, it's Dan. They're like, where's Dan? Where's Dan? Remember? They're looking for Dan.
Is that true?
I don't know. Maybe.
Or are you just doing a reference to an Alan Partridge bit?
It seems...
Dan!
I mean, if I had thought of that, that would have been cool, but I'm just thinking that it's Dan.
Okay.
I feel like it's
Let's go with Dan.
Yeah.
I truly don't remember any of the characters' names, but that's not important. What is important here is getting into the mind of a stuntman.
Yes.
And then when we do that, saying to each other how we feel about the movie. What did you think, Mampy?
You know, overall, I had a good time at the theater. I went, this is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Fun time. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to deny the charm of, the stars in this one. You're just like, well, they're having a great time. I'm having a good time. And
it's true.
It's
very difficult when, in the rare case, when stars have chemistry together.
Yeah.
Especially because we so rarely see it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, there's just people in movies and both of them are hot and they don't seem to find each other attractive.
That's always weird. Always weird.
But they seem to like talking to each other and be attracted to each other, and they're both like funny together. And I think Emily Blunt is often not very good in things, or maybe she's in a lot of bad things. I think she's quite good in this.
Yeah, I thought she was great.
I think Ryan Gosling is, as usual, amazing in it. I thought it was just fun. It was a fun movie. It's like the kind of movie you want to recommend to people because it's a movie.
Yes.
This does the things that movies do. There's funny things, there's jumping things, there's romance, there's explosions. What else?
It's got it all.
What would you want from a movie?
I don't really know, and it has a good climax.
If it was like maybe 1 or 2 stars better.
Yeah.
But just because it's not the greatest movie ever doesn't mean it's not a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good time. I overall was like, I left going, that was fun. That made me, I feel good now, which is often the job of the movie. A movie like this, at least.
Make me feel good.
Make me feel good, baby.
While we're talking about that, as you were leaving the theater, maybe you toss your refuse in one of the bins, or maybe you're one of those people who tosses it on the floor.
Yes.
And says that's what they're paid for.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? Were you thinking, wow, I remember exactly the best part? And when you were thinking that, what did you say?
What I said is I was one of the worst types of people that there can be. That I never understand. I don't even understand the leaving. I was at a bar one time and we were eating peanuts, and they're like, just put it on the floor. I'm like, yeah, but I could also just put it in this tray and throw it out. It's not that. It takes no time at all.
Just give me a second bucket. I'll throw it into that bucket.
We don't need to add more sweeping. Sweeping is taxing on the back. I don't know if you knew that. It takes a toll.
It is. No broom is the right height for some reason.
Yeah, it's always got a hunch.
We've never figured it out. Broom has to be one of the first tools we created once we got houses.
Yeah.
We're just like, I don't know.
Well, that's it.
How do you do it?
It's perfect. We don't ever have to make it better.
Be hunched over like this to broom, right? And
Yeah,
everybody's like,
exactly.
yeah,
Maybe
sure.
not. Oh, what if we make a dustpan that's even smaller, so you have to, really curve your back to sweep in all this dust?
Yes.
And what if the dust never quite went away? That would be really, really nice. There's a
That's
lot of
one reason
inventions.
I like to mop
Yes.
more than I like to sweep, because mopping, even though you're probably not doing anymore, it feels very satisfying because everything's just wet when you're done. You're like,
I
well,
love it.
the mop did its job. It got everything wet. It smells like a pine tree. This is great.
The illusion of things being wet, just cleaning them is so nice. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just, everything's good. It's just soaked. It's lovely. I love it. I made a difference.
I made a difference in this world.
It's slippery, dangerous. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
But what I also love is the gyro of this picture.
The best part?
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the movie. There were a lot of fun stuff, a lot of good times, good romps. And this, of course, as always, I'm going to give away part of the movie. So if you haven't seen it,
spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! There is a spoiler about to be told. Citizens, you must remove yourself if you have not seen The Fall Guy. That would be pretty cool.
Oh, we gotta get out of here!
Oh, I don't want to hear the spoiler. They're just spoilers, just straight up blow people's heads off, like their heads explode because they can't take.
What if they spoil the big twist in Fall Guy?
So my favorite part is right after the nice, fun action scene inside of the actor's apartment. Ryder, whatever his name is, he's the big action star in the movie.
Yes.
In the movie. There's a movie in the movie. And Ryder is the action star in
the
that.
movie within the movie is Metal Storm.
Metal Storm. He's the actor in that, and he has an apartment. And Colt, Ryan Gosling's character.
You're doing so good.
And Dan, Winston, whatever his name's character. I'm gonna keep calling him Dan. They have a huge fight, which is really fun and crazy, and they almost get killed, I gotta say. Then Ryan, our main guy, gets captured and they're beating the shit out of him on a dock, and there's a big reveal. I don't know if you're ready for it, but
I'm ready.
The bad guy is Ryder, the action star, who is what's his name? Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I don't know what. It's something like that. It's like
it's Aaron Taylor.
Oh, Johnson.
Anya Taylor-Joy. Anderson Taylor Cooper.
Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yes.
ATJ.
The guy who they're gonna make fucking James Bond. Jesus.
Are you serious? Really?
That's the kind of thing that they say on the internet. Hopefully not. I mean, he's fine. He's this movie is actually the best I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
Usually I find him kind of
unbearable.
Middling, like, oh, okay, I guess he's handsome.
Yeah, I guess.
The only thing he has?
Yeah, I think he was better off in Kick-Ass, where he was like a measly little, like, oh, I'm trying my best, that sort of vibe.
I think he's good in this.
Yeah, he did way better. And sometimes you just got to find the right thing for you, which is acting like a total douchebag.
Maybe he is deep down, or he can reach that, or click into that, or feel it, because he's just feels like a real dickhead in this. And
once you are a celebrity, I feel like you're around so much of that, you're probably like, oh, I got this in the bag.
No problem.
Yeah, everyone talks to me like this constantly. Anyway, they are torturing him, and they're about to set our dear Colt on fire. And I just love this. I thought it was so fun. You think it's all over. I was literally like, well, he's just going to die. I don't know what's
burn alive.
Because he's like, he can fight and stuff, but he's not like some crazy martial art. He's just like barely making it out of like every fight. Which I thought was fun too. But yeah, they start pouring it all over him, and he's like, help, help! And then he like gets some in his mouth, and you're like, oh god, the helps didn't help, and he's about to die. Worse. He got that in his mouth. But then I forget what they say to him, but they light up the flame, and then Ryan Gosling goes and sprays the gas all over the flame, and it shoots all over the guy. And I was like, oh, that's so fun. And he runs away and gets on a boat, and I just loved it. I thought that was so fun. I was like, yay, they did it. I didn't know how he was going to get out, and he got out.
It really kicks ass.
It made me happy. It's like,
that's on my bests list. You picked a really good best.
It's a good one.
The way the whole scene is put together is really nice. Like, they're just beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Ryder is awful.
Yeah, horrible.
And you do kind of feel like, oh, I guess he's dead.
Yeah.
And I think they do a pretty good job of doing that a few different times. Like he does a big boat stunt, and the boat explodes, and there's gas, and all of that explodes. And like when they finally reveal that he's not dead, of course he's not dead
deep down.
But they do give you a solid like 35 seconds where you're like, I guess they just killed him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's alive. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. That would be too bad if they killed him.
We've been left with the other guy as the main character.
Which would be fine.
Not as good, though, I will say.
No. I mean, that guy's cool, but he ain't no Ryan Gosling.
He ain't.
Speaking of Ryan Gosling.
Uh-oh.
I have a little beef lamb euro of my own.
Ooh.
And I feel like the best part of this movie is Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, he's great. Always.
He is, I mean, a longtime fan. But I think in this, he's really doing full-on movie star stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's just stuff that I think if he was less charismatic or less funny or less physically able, other people wouldn't be able to pull off.
Yeah.
But there's just sometimes when they'll be like, oh, I'm about to do a cool thing, and he'll kind of look out, and he'll, maybe squint his eyes a little bit, and he just looks kind of badass.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that just absolutely would not have worked if he wasn't captivating somehow.
Exactly, yeah.
And you just see him and you go, oh, cool. I'm excited for him to do that.
Yeah.
But there's also like other moments that are right on the edge of being like Deadpool syndrome.
Yeah.
There's some that is right on the edge of that still manages to work.
Yeah.
Like there's this moment where he's crying to the Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
And did you not like that one?
No, it's just tough. It's tough.
It's tough.
You're adding something that I don't like, and then it's like, I've seen this before, this type of thing.
Yes.
But they still managed to pull it off because Ryan Gosling's so good.
And also, I really like how earnest all of that stuff is.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't get strangely ironic. Like, the character is listening to the song and it makes him cry.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the whole point of the scene.
Yes.
And then the girl he used to love and still loves comes up to his car and catches him crying. And that kind of stuff is good and nice and sweet. Like, I just get a good sense of who these people are. They're kind of nakedly emotional, which is really nice.
Yeah, I like that.
They're not... They are doing lots of referencey stuff, but it's usually references to things I like, so that helps.
There you go.
The fact that it's a current movie and it has a reference to, like, The Fugitive and Last of the Mohicans and stuff like that. It's like,
fun.
This is cool.
Yeah, it's a movie.
These are the kind of references that if someone near and dear to me made, I'd be like, oh, cool. That's funny. Ha, ha, ha. I'm having a great time. So Gosling in general...
Yes, he's great.
Is great. I think he's quite good.
Yeah,
2 stars.
2 stars?
2 stars out of 2.
Yeah, out of possible 2.
Just having him in the nice guys mode.
Yes.
He's doing a little voiceover. He's funny. He hurts himself a lot.
Yeah.
He goes, ugh, a lot.
This guy felt a little more capable, which I like.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, Nice Guys is one of my favorites. Just so fun, and that one does a really good job of never getting even close to the the Deadpool syndrome, which I like.
No, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But I thought he did great, and I think they did a good job of not making. Sometimes movies have everyone just be too cool to feel any human emotion. So when they are supposed to, you're like, I don't really buy it. But like this one, when he's like on the boat about to do the fake death thing, like he's on a phone call with Emily Blunt, and I was like, wow, they're like actually making me kind of feel something here. Like,
yes,
because you care about, like they pulled off their chemistry so much.
Yes.
It was really, really well done, because I was like, dang, like, because she literally is like, oh, he's dead. Like, he's about to die. And they, I don't know. And the part where she's like, we've seen this a lot in movies where they keep like rewinding the thing over and over. But like,
sure,
you really buy that she's like distraught and like fucked up from losing someone she really cared about, which I thought, good work. Good work.
And they also set it up with not much bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, all of the setup of the story is done in like a kind of 2.5, 3 minute, maybe 4 minute opening shot. That's a kind of a slightly silly wonder, but like their information or that they deliver is delivered kind of pretty simply.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you got to go back to the set. Oh, God. Well, I guess Ryder, who is the star, is being annoying again. And I bet the producer, who is the other main character, is also sipping Diet Coke and being really bitchy.
Yep.
And then, there's the camera operator who I'm in love with, who's Emily Blunt. And they go on to their walkie-talkies, and they have, like, sweet, funny, nice banter that feels like real enough. Like it has that kind of, speed and movement of like a witty conversation you might have with someone that you like. And then they break his back.
Yeah, which is awesome. I was not expecting that. I was like, oh shit. Because I gotta say, this is one of my favorite trailers of a movie because they really like pulled one over on me, because I did not even know from the trailer that they were in a relationship. I thought he just like liked her, and like so I was like, oh wait, they're already in a relationship. And then the backbreaking thing, and then it being like months later, I was like, oh, I had no clue any of that was gonna happen, which I love that they didn't give that away. It's nice.
Yeah, just imagine such a thing.
Oh, a trailer. A good
trailer.
Wow.
Just imagine a trailer. Okay, I got another thing that's good. Like it or not, you're getting it.
Okay.
So when they're Mr. Ryan's first day on set, he has been out of action for, I don't know, over a year, right? Am I crazy?
13 months, so I guess a little over.
And he's back, and what is Emily Blunt's character's name?
Oh, I wish I knew. Is it
Emily?
Kate? I don't know.
Who knows?
I'll
say Emily.
Yeah,
so Emily is the director, and they have this real romantic comedy scene that's like where the concept is insane, but the execution is so good that you don't care. Essentially what is happening is he's doing a stunt and she is punishing him for not calling him, for not calling her.
Yeah.
By making him do the stunt over and over and over again. And they're having this conversation through bullhorns, and they're talking about the characters, but they're really talking about their own relationship.
Yeah.
And it's quite funny. They get to light him on fire a bunch of times, which is cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then there's this one moment where, they're really having wide open heart-to-hearts. Like, this is not thing where they're getting too cutesy. They're just kind of saying, hey, you really hurt my feelings. And then he's kind of going, well, I broke my back and I didn't really know what to do. And I was trying to say I was sorry, but I never could.
Yeah.
And then there's a little alien sitting next to Ryan. And he's got like a weird voice thing. So he has an alien voice that's like, beep, 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 beep. And he puts his hand out and like does like a gimme for the bullhorn.
Gimme's good.
And then he grabs it and he kind of just goes, beep that. You can't really understand what he says. It's really good.
I think he says, like, I'm like attracted to my wife's sister or something like that. Or something.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, and they like pull it away from him. I was like,
I don't know what he said, but it worked anyway, just because of the way the timing worked.
The beatbox.
And the way the bit was formed. And the fact that he had a little robot voice was great.
And they bring back the little robot voice later when Colt, Ryan Gosling, sneaks onto the set because everyone thinks he's dead at this point. They're like,
so good.
He blew up. He's a bad guy. You know, he killed somebody. They framed him. All this horrible stuff. They deep faked his face. Crazy. Which they did a good job.
Very anti-AI movie.
Yeah, they were like, hey, it is a real concern that could potentially
absolutely.
happen. It's kind of terrifying.
It's definitely going to happen in real life.
Yeah. It's
very, very soon.
Pretty intense.
Hey,
but
we're having fun, though.
We're having a great time, honestly.
I mean, I'm not famous enough for anyone to frame me for murder, probably.
I hope not. Fingers crushed. Someone who just despises this podcast.
It'd be good for the show, though.
Yeah. We get a Netflix doc about us. It'd be awesome. The food court.
Podcaster Sean Parrott beat up 17 women. He threw them all over a bridge. Here's a video of it. And it's just
that
like
would
a
be
weird
wild.
AI thing with the stupid animation that flows.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you
yeah,
over
it looks
the bridge.
like
My name is Sean Parrott.
See, it's real.
And they kick in the door. They run in the door behind me. It's in there! It's in there!
And you turn and you look like the AI monster. And they're like, oh! And you kill all of them with your AI powers. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
There's got to be a movie where the AI disturbing things come out of the computer and start killing people. That's got to be next, right?
Sure.
Like ChatGPT.
Sounds sort of like a sequel to Shocker, that movie where a man gets electrocuted and then can go into TVs.
That'd be perfect. AI or...
go to TVs.
That would be cool.
I said it out loud, but that is what happens.
That is the movie.
Say, go to TVs.
What if a psychopath could go into the TV? Oh my God, we've got a hit.
And do lasers. Well, not lasers. He can do electric stuff, but it kind of looks like lasers sometimes.
Lightning blasters. So, but anyway, Colt goes into the trailer of Emily Blunt's character, and he jumps. He's in the alien costume, same like alien voice, and she's watching the like video. He killed himself. He killed himself. He killed himself. And then she's like, "Oh God!" And then he comes up behind her, like trying to like keep her quiet, and she's like loses it and just starts beating the crap out of him, and it's like an extensive amount of damage done to him. He's just getting thrashed. She stabs him in the leg. She like breaks something over his head, and he's like trying to talk, but he can't because of the alien voice. And I just loved it. I thought it was great.
Quite funny.
I loved it. That was beautiful.
You know what? I did too.
Yeah.
Got it?
Got it?
Okay,
hey,
another thing I liked. What? Hey, guess what? Got it?
We like this one, so get over it.
Yeah. Suck on that.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, if you don't like it, tweet at us at FoodCourtCast.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought. Did you like or hate Challengers more than us? Let us know.
Yeah.
Did you like Fall Guy more than us? Let us know. Have you seen The First Omen and are mad we didn't do an episode about it? Let us know.
I did hear there was some disappointment that we did not do an episode on Kong or Kung Fu Panda 4, and I went, hey, we can't do them all. We really can't. We just can't.
Those are some options for our paid tier. Feel free. If you want to ask for our Venmo and you want to send us money, we'd be happy to go see. I would love to go see Kong versus X versus Godzilla.
That's a good idea.
Versus the New World.
We should force
Underground.
Yeah, if you want us to see these movies that we don't want, well, I mainly don't want to see, you have to pay us to do it. I'm thinking this is the $5 tier.
Yeah.
No, this is the cost of a movie ticket tier.
Yeah.
Because it only makes sense. I mean, I don't have to pay for it because I have the unlimited, but still, it's the principle of it.
It's the idea of the thing.
Like, what? You want me to
it's
go
the nerve.
The nerve.
It's the absolute nerve.
There is a lot going on in the world right now, but the nerve,
Yeah.
I can't believe it. It's upsetting.
Some people, not a lot of people, but some people are saying that this is the worst thing happening in the world right now.
Right now.
Is people asking us to see the Godzilla movie.
Ugh. How dare they? I'm
It's the
appalled.
worst. You know what is good, though? There's a scene. Mr. Ryan and Ms. Emily are going to go do karaoke together. And this is the kind of thing that it might rekindle their passions.
It could.
They've been kind of sparring. They've been parrying, thrusting. They've been kind of meet cuting, but then getting angry at each other. They can't reconcile their differences, but they want to. And this could be the moment. And you know what? Ryan can't show up because he's in the back of a truck.
Yeah.
Doing some street surfing?
Yeah, street surfing. He's fighting an unbeatable man who just cannot be stopped.
Just a monster.
Yeah.
And Emily begins to sing Man Without a Face, the Phil Collins song. Or wait, Against All Odds.
Yes.
Whatever it's called.
All odds.
And she's singing Take a Look at Me Now. And they're kind of fading in between her karaoke version and the real song.
Yeah.
And he's just desperately trying to get back to karaoke.
Yeah.
And I like that.
I thought it was awesome.
And I say in general, I was okay with most or even all of the needle drops.
Yeah, I thought, as far as I can remember.
I mean, that may just be because they picked a lot of songs that I like.
Yeah.
And when they picked songs that are obvious, they were like obvious in a way that is so obvious that it works.
Yeah.
Like one of the songs was AC/DC's Thunderstruck. Which
Classic.
Is just kicks ass. It's
a
just
great
good
song.
And
great
when I
song.
hear that, I get pumped. And I was like, well, perfect. Yeah, I'm glad you played this.
Thunderstruck
And
it has a special place in my heart because
go on
the Mampy Hike stream, you can redeem me doing a performance of Thunderstruck. I don't know the words, so I just make it up, but it's great time. I put on the song with no lyrics, no words, and I just play the music and I just make up my own thing. But I do say Thunderstruck.
How do they follow you on Twitch?
You just go to Twitch, you type in Mampy Hikes. I'm the only one that is on there, so
that's it.
Just boop beep. It's so easy. It's so quick. It's so quick. I mean,
if I were them, I would do that right now.
I know. It's like, and you can even have the podcast playing while you do it. Isn't that crazy?
Oh,
you could still be listening
to it in your headphones and then go click.
Click. And you're like, wow, I just did the thing that we just talked about.
That's amazing.
I almost feel like I'm struck. Damn. I kind of just do that the whole time. It's pretty fun.
I mean, that's pretty much the good part.
Yeah,
except I like when he goes doodle-dee.
Yeah, that
any of those.
The beginning is so cool. I can't even imagine playing that. Like, no way.
I mean, you gotta be dressed like a schoolboy from Australia in order to play that song.
Yeah,
it's impossible to do it in any other way.
That is true. They figured that out. They tried it. Mm-hmm. You'll notice performances where they tried without and don't work.
It's a fucking mess.
Yeah, noodle soup is what they call it. You know,
they do. It's when a noodling goes bad.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, fuck, it's soup
He's
now.
No fucking noodle soup. That's a good phrase. If you're listening and you work for Guitar Player Magazine, please have us on whatever your podcast. We'll do an article or some shit about noodle soup, and you'll have a great time.
I love it.
Mampy?
Yeah?
I gotta ask you this. Is there any other positive things you gotta say before we go negative?
Okay, I think
way.
I loved a lot of the similarities to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, one of my all-time favorite mystery action fun movies. I think I like that movie more, but
of course,
it's just like perfect. It's so funny and really crazy.
Good.
But they had a similar scene. It really reminded me of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, where Ryan Gosling goes into a hotel room. He goes into Ryder's. No, it's not Ryder's hotel. It's where they say to go. You know, Ryder would go there and order a fruit plate or whatever, or platter.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of bits. Like, he goes up, the card doesn't work, he has to come back.
That bit is really
the card still doesn't work, so he just kicks the door in. He has like a full conversation with Emily Blunt. This kind of fun scene where they're like playing with split screen, which I really liked. I thought it was fun.
Really nice.
I haven't seen split screen in a movie in a bit either. So I was like, oh, that was kind of refreshing.
They're weak. They're all cowards.
They're all cowards.
They're afraid.
Fun. I think they're great. I think you can really pull them off. There's many good ones in the past, and it was nice to see. And I love that they even committed to them like simultaneously doing stuff that mirrored each other.
Yes.
And then when they start going towards different ideas, they do different stuff. I was like, that's sweet.
Yeah.
And then she's
got her little alien hand.
Yeah, the alien hand was nice because the whole thing is like it mirrors the movie they're making where it's a cowboy and an alien, and so it's like their relationship. So it was just nice. And all the while Ryan Gosling is high on some kind of crazy drug.
Yes, I forgot about the speed racer scene.
Yeah, when they get rid of the split screen, there's just a unicorn in his reflection, which was nice. There's a lot of great bits because they're like, how will I know that it's worn off? And it's like, well, if you stop seeing unicorns. And then there's just a unicorn in the scene with him. And I was like, that's a nice cut. Because sometimes drugs in movies, it's like over the top. This was over the top, but in a way that like was meant to be like a goofy. It was a goofy.
And it was very specific.
Yes, yeah.
Like
exactly.
when he's first drugged up, he has like a real super anime things exploding kind of hallucination where he's beating the shit out of people.
That was a wild.
And then from then it like he evens out and he's just seeing unicorns and that's it.
Yeah, which I liked. I honestly thought, because I loved that fight scene. I thought that was so cool. It reminded me of like Scott Pilgrim or something, just really fun. Yes. I was half expecting it to be fake in his head because it was so like wild. I was whoa. No, he just literally beat them up, which was cool. But anyway, sorry, back to this scene. After this long talk, which in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, the same thing happens. I don't know if you knew this. Ryan, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. goes to a house. There, someone gets killed, so there's a dead body there. But before that, there's a whole phone call scene with the lady he likes. So I was like, this is a weird parallel. Anyway, so Ryan Gosling gets off the phone and he goes into the bathroom and there's just a dead guy on ice. And he's like, oh, shit. Which is wild. And he gets the hell out of there. But I love it. He walks out. And he's on the phone and he sees the camera can see him. So he like puts up his hood and like walks backwards. But then later you get to see that footage from the security camera. And I was dying laughing because you just see him go. Like, it's just
see
so
his
stupid.
whole face.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I love it. It was great. So that was a long explanation, but we got there and I loved it.
No, that was the perfect amount.
Yeah, we did
for me. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I have bad news.
Uh-oh.
I have bad news for you. I have bad news for the watchers and the listeners. It's time to be negative.
Uh-oh.
We hate to do it, but we kind of love it.
Yeah,
These are our low mans, the worst part of the movie. I'll tell you mine first, Michael.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Okay, this is the worst thing, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stunts, even though I believe were performed by real people in the real world, feel sort of fake.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck that is. This is the same thing we had when our minds were blown when we found out like how many things in Fast X were actually happening.
Yeah.
But they somehow like put enough digital stuff on it that it no longer looks real.
Exactly.
Like they were really rolling a huge metal ball, or at least a fake metal ball, down the road. And then by the time it gets to the screen, you're like, wow, that's an interesting fake metal ball that they're
looks
not
completely
really
fake.
rolling down the road. And I had some of the same feeling in this. Like there's one part where I guess they broke a world record for how many times a truck rolls over.
Oh, wow.
And I don't even know if they showed the whole role.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I just imagined not seeing it or something, but just a lot of stuff like that where it's like, well, I think maybe Ryan Gosling is actually on that thing and he's actually doing some street surfing, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Which is really weird to discount your own. I don't even know what they're doing to do this, to make something real look fake, but maybe it's just background replacement because they're getting rid of wires or something like that.
True.
That makes it feel green screeny or something, but it's just weird.
Yeah, it did have a odd vibe to. Like at first, it feels pretty realistic. Like when he's first on it and he like falls on that thing and there's like sparks. But then when it's like, especially when it's like turned over and they're fighting, it just felt odd. I mean, I don't know how realistic it is to fight on something that's being dragged through the street, but it did have a weird look to it for sure.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah. And even sometimes, like, in the final scene, there's lots of, like, smoke bombs and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was sometimes like, is that real smoke or the fake? Now, maybe maybe my brain has gone to rot since it's been melted by so many movies looking like shit, and now I think every movie looks like shit. But
yeah.
I still had a really good time, but there was lots of times when I just felt like, this may not be green screen, but for some reason they made it look like it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Seems like the ultimate mistake.
It's like backwards.
This is amazing. Yeah. This should be amazing. He's on a goddamn piece of metal.
Yeah, it's something that you would see in like a 90s film that would look just like crazy because you're like, whoa, they're literally on this thing fighting.
Yeah.
But it didn't have quite that weight to it.
It's weird.
I get Ryan Gosling is precious cargo. We can't lose him.
I agree. I totally agree.
But yeah, I can see that for sure.
I think I was just very confused by how they made it happen. In the same way I was confused by Fast X, but like for some reason it made less of a difference in Fast X because like the entire idea of those movies is that they're fucking insane.
Completely, yeah.
That like a car can do a backflip. It's not a transformer, but it can do a backflip somehow. And you just go, well, I have to buy into the fact that can do a backflip or I'm going to die. Because this movie's like 5 hours long. I'm going to have to kill myself if I don't let the car do a backflip.
Exactly.
But in this, where it's like, this guy's a stuntman. So much of the marketing is, we did stunts. Aren't stunts cool? And I totally agree.
Absolutely.
Stunts are cool.
They're awesome.
But sometimes I was just like, I don't know what's happening. Even in just a weird way, like, why? What did y'all do?
That fight scene especially kind of lost me a bit. Like, it was fun or whatever, but it was kind of disjointed because, there's a lot of cutting back with the other scene, which I was fine with that overall, but like, it was a little broken up and then felt kind of, I don't even know what the word would be, like, weightless or like not actually dire or something. Like, it really just kind of, it was just happening and you're like, all right. It was kind of weird. I don't know. The other scenes I felt more like into them. Maybe because they were in like
fight scenes
real spaces.
Were quite good.
Yeah.
Most of the driving looked pretty good and fun. But yeah, maybe it was just that kind of scene, or maybe it was just when he was in a special danger, so they needed to have a lot of harnessing on him. And then needed to get rid of all the harnessing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was just weirded out by it.
I did like the scenes where they were shooting the movie and like that stuff was just fun, and just because I love movie making, I love seeing like the crew and everything. Like, it's just always a blast. It's just I love seeing that stuff and more practical things.
Dune scream.
Yeah. That was crazy. I do have to say I did like when Jason Momoa showed up. I thought that was a good bit. I was like, wow, they did it. They really did it.
I fucking love Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
It's one of the saddest things about me.
But he is funny.
He's funny in it.
Yeah, he's nuts.
He's funny. He has no pride, but in a good way.
He's completely free.
Yeah.
He's just like,
what? Just like, hey, Jason Momoa, you want to do this thing that makes fun of like what a ridiculous dummy you are?
Yeah, he's like, hell yeah.
I'd love to do that. Yeah, call me a fucking idiot to my face. I don't care.
As someone who over intellectualizes every moment of their life, It is so refreshing to see someone just be like, so badass, and just be like, yeah. It's like, of course he's a celebrity. Like, you kind of have to be that to be in this world. It seems
sure.
It's kind of wild, but I'm proud of him, and
he's
keep lovely.
It up. And it's also a callback to a good joke earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
Where for some reason Ryder's entire apartment is filled with Post-it notes.
Yeah.
And one of them says M-A-M-O-A or M-O-M-O-A.
Yeah, Momoa or Mamoa.
Momoa or Momoa. And then he comes back. And also, I will say, I was disappointed by the idea that this movie doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
The fact that there is no Megaforce.
It would be amazing.
Kind of saddened to me.
It was funny. I thought, it was interesting. It was like a Mad Max Dune or something. Like,
yes.
It was very, like, middle of those things.
I mean, they used to make beautiful trash like that back in the old days.
Ugh, bring it back.
Now, they never spent as much money as they are spending in this movie to make a movie like that.
True.
Never once, but...
Never once. But they still looked so fun and, like, that time period was so cool of movies.
Yeah.
Just the allure of making movies has really dimmed, sadly.
Yeah.
So much of it's done behind a computer screen when it could be done in real life. You know, the energy just isn't there when you don't have it. When you throw it, you know, you'd make a CG cat turn into an alien or something. You know, it's just like, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't work.
When you're on top of a building and you both jump off onto like a big bag, you know, one of those parachute bags, and the CG cat flies up towards the camera, and you're
brutal.
Like, oh, fuck.
Just do it with the real cat. Have someone catch the cat.
I mean, how hard would it be to just have a cat jump in? You just throw a cat once, it will land on its feet. That's it.
Yeah, you've got the shot. Yeah.
You've got the shot.
Just do it.
That's it. Cats don't care. They jump off of fucking trees.
I don't know if I told you, that's where I stopped the movie. Like, I was like, just kind of like, I got to that exact point, and I went, I just don't think I can watch this, and I couldn't. And then when I found out the twist, I was like, oh, God. What the fuck?
I'm glad that I told you the twist.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
Insane. What a dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. I mean, I bet it was a blast to shoot, though. That's the thing about movies. They're probably always, well, maybe not always. Revenant doesn't seem very fun to shoot. But
no.
Maybe some fun movies are fun to shoot.
Yeah. I bet I'm trying to think of movies they had a great time shooting. Space Jam? New Legacy?
Oh, I bet they loved it. I mean, it was all blue screen, probably.
Yeah, just hanging out in a green room.
Yeah.
Being like, hey, how's it going, Don Cheadle?
Hey, I'm a robot.
What was his name?
Algae Rhythm. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. It's so brutal. It's so brutal. That was... No. I mean, I'm pretty depressed now with the state of the world, but that was pretty close. Space Jam New Legacy, I left... It felt like how a pumpkin must feel after it's been hollowed out. The seeds ripped from its body. Its purpose just completely gone. And then repurposed for laughs, for jokes, for kicks. Oh, you get to be alive. You get to be out there for 2 days with a candle in your fucking hollow corpse. Great.
I've never heard someone argue so passionately on behalf of the humble pumpkin.
They leave the pumpkins. They forget about them.
Leave our pumpkins alone!
Stop killing the pumpkins for your sick game.
Stop the pumpkin genocide!
Why don't we do 3D pumpkins instead of 3D movies? Like, we generate a pumpkin. Oh, that looks really cool.
Thank you. Hologram.
The money we save on pumpkins, we can use in the movies and make them practical again. It's a trickle-down effect.
Are you listening, Sony, MGM?
I just don't
A24, Neon?
The answers are right in front of us, and we're just ignoring them.
If you're listening, I don't know, Bob Iger, whoever is running a studio right now, this is what you got to do. We take regular pumpkins. We leave them be.
Leave them be.
They have a beautiful life. They live, they die.
Yes.
Just the way we all do.
I love it.
We get hologram technology to project fake jack-o'-lanterns on people's front stoops or porches or stairs. Window. Perfect. And these are all good options. And the money we save goes into the movies.
It's all laid out. We just laid out the plan, the pumpkin plan, we're calling it.
We're calling it the pumpkin plan. We need you to invest now in the pumpkin plan.
Do you know the pumpkin plan?
Do you? You bastards. You don't know anything about the pumpkin plan.
Ugh, that's a good shirt, though. We could use the shirt to generate money, too. Do you know the pumpkin plan? And people
see it and they'll go, I don't know what the fuck that means, but I like it.
On the back, find out more at pumpkinplan.org. This is perfect.
Yeah. For a long time, I felt like maybe there's no meaning in life, and even if there is, I don't have any. Meaning.
There you go.
Like my existence has no meaning. So it's good to finally find something like this that is fulfilling.
Exactly.
We're changing the world. We're saving pumpkin kind. Wow.
Because if a pumpkin gets killed in the forest by some animal, those seeds are then transported via bird, via shit, and there are more pumpkins. When we do it, guess where those seeds are going? Straight in the garbage dump. Or your precious compost. Well, guess what, honey? The pumpkins aren't growing in the compost, you stupid. Sorry. I couldn't keep going, but I do love pumpkins.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Mampy, I know you love pumpkins.
Yeah.
But what do you hate the most about the Fall Guy?
Honestly, I'm tempted to say the pre-roll thing before the movie. I thought that was bad. Where it's like the director and Ryan Gosling. I was like, why are we doing this? Where they're like, thank you for coming to a movie theater, and we made a movie, and they try to do some bit that just isn't very funny, and you're like, now you've set the tone wrong. It's like when a host comes up before a show, and they just like kind of make the mood bad, and you're like, well, fuck. You just fucked us.
You fuckers.
So maybe that tinged it, but I felt like it was post him getting his back broken. But there was a few scenes where it just felt like people were doing that, where they let actors improvise thing. And it felt a little like, can we just like it would go in and out of like lines of the movie. And then just like, they are just making up stuff and it's not very compelling or interesting.
Yes.
And you can tell. And I always hate that in a movie.
A little too much riffing.
I'm like, all right, no more riffing. Just get back to the fucking script.
Who do you think you are? Larry David?
Larry David. Yeah, exactly. At least... It's like either you do it that way or you do it script way with a little bit of improv. Not like Ryan Reynolds filling in 45 pages in the first 10 minutes. It's like, dude, shut up. I really hope Ryan Gosling avoids that happening to him. I worry sometimes, though. Because they're like, oh, people laugh at him. Let's milk him dry.
Yeah.
I get worried.
What's going to happen to him?
Maybe he'll be okay.
I feel a little worried, too.
Yeah, maybe he'll start his own cellular phone company and
that
have
sounds
ads
great.
on YouTube. Yeah.
You know what, Mampy? We can't only talk about the Fall Guy.
We can't.
But?
What else?
I don't know. You usually say but, so I was just wondering.
But we can do something else.
Oh, okay. We can talk about the other movies we watched this week with a new segment we've been working on called Panda Express Presents Express Yourself about the movies you watched this week. Play that theme song.
It's time for the Pen Express, bing bing, because we got them things expressed, bing bing, about the things we watched, ding ding, this week, down to now. I have to say something. I said express on the first one. The first line I said express, and I just want people to know that I know that it happened. I acknowledge it, and it's fine.
We support you here.
Sometimes you have to. I can't express it enough. We have to, be okay with when we fail, and that's all right.
If you never fail, you're never gonna get better.
Exactly. If Lil Wayne, is that who it was? One of the Lils who didn't do that horrible guitar solo, and have all these people tell him how bad he was, he would have never learned.
Yeah.
Like maybe I should
Lil Wayne.
Learn the guitar before I
play the guitar.
Do that. Yeah, I think it's good for us. That's
beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you watch any movies this week, Mampy?
I did. I technically did, if you'll allow it. There was a Star Wars themed party that I mostly stood alone at and tried to find things to entertain myself as other people talked loudly to each other.
Okay.
But there was a few moments where I was, still peripherally in the crowd of people, but I was like, this scene. And we were watching Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Still never seen it.
You've never seen it? Wow.
No.
Oh, wow.
I've heard it's the most okay one of those.
Yeah, there's been a whole gaslighting of ourselves as a culture where we pretend they're good movies. They're not good movies. I'm so sorry. And people are like, the new ones were so bad. It's like, these are good. It's like, no, they're just both bad.
They can all be bad.
They can all just be bad. Now, the third one does have this beautiful final scene in lava and they're like fighting and stuff. And that is cool. It's very well done. And still doesn't look all that bad, honestly. But you can tell it's all fake, but you're like, well, sure, it looks okay. And
sometimes that's all that matters.
Yeah. And I had a good time watching what's his face? Anakin get sliced up by Obi-Wan. I thought that was fun.
Yeah,
and they're
fuck
yelling.
You, Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, which he did a good job on that scene, I thought, where he's like screaming, and he's like, "I hate you." I was like, that's pretty good. And poor Obi-Wan, you and McGregor, wow, you actually feel it. He's like, "I loved you." You're like, "Oh, my buddy."
That guy's a star.
So I watched that, and I said, I'm not a Star Wars guy anymore, and that's okay. Sometimes you gotta let it go. You just go, all right, that's done. That chapter's over. That saga is over.
The Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
Is over.
Turn the lightsabers off.
Yeah.
Take the life battery out of R2. Power it down. Shut the Millennium Falcon. Sink the Millennium Falcon in an ocean and let it be gone forever. That's what I'm looking for. Just a movie to end it all. They're like, okay, it's done. No more.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
You can't. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I'm amazed. Maybe they do it with the TV shows, but I can't bear to watch the TV shows.
No.
But there's people in space, and they've got guns and they've got swords.
Yeah.
Can't you let someone do something interesting with that? I mean, it's just fucking insane.
Yeah, it is. It is
like
wild.
My favorite thing is when someone has a gun.
Yeah, it's cool.
And especially if it's a fucking laser gun, that's even cooler. Well, they just, I don't know.
They just don't do
care.
it. I don't care.
Speaking of me watching good movies, though, I saw a little picture called After Hours.
Oh.
Written and only directed by Martin Scorsese.
Okay.
Starring Griffin Dunn and a lot of cutie pies, including Rosanna Arquette.
Uh-oh.
And other people who are good. Tara Gar.
Oh,
Gar. Kevin's mom from Home Alone.
I love her so much.
Yeah, she's so good. Okay. And it's great. Have you seen After Hours?
No, I've never seen it.
It kicks ass. It's so much fun. It's the perfect you and I movie.
Yes.
It's this guy, he meets this girl at a coffee shop, and he manages to get her number. He goes over to her house, and he meets her roommate, and her roommate's real hot, and all sorts of bad things happen. It's really a really fun movie. It sort of feels like a more real-life version of, like, Mother or something like that, where it's just like the night gone bad thing. Like, it just
I love it.
Anything that can go wrong will. Just, it's a ton of fun. And also I think it's a movie that probably has grown in reputation recently just because it's very frank about sex.
Yeah.
It's very frank about, like, homosexuality. There's lots of, like, characters who are just, like, gay people who happen to be sitting next to someone.
That's cool. Yeah. I
Like, it's not they're like, oh my god, look at that gay guy. It's just like, there's two, like, leather dudes sitting and talking to the main character, and that's about it. And he's not like, oh, what are you two guys, gay guys wearing leather? But it's good. It's just a ton of fun. Very goofy, very silly.
I love it.
I love it.
And
1 million stars.
the name you were looking for, Catherine O'Hara. It came to me.
Yes, Catherine O'Hara.
One of my favorites. Just
She's so
awesome.
good.
But she could not save Argyle. She truly couldn't.
Wow. Wow.
Also, I remembered the other guy's name, Winston Duke. It came to me.
Winston Duke!
Finally.
Yes.
I was like, what is it? What is it?
Playing Ben or Dan or 10 or
Maybe it's Ben. No, I think it's Dan.
Din?
Din.
Is it Ben or Din?
Benadin.
Which one is it?
Welcome back to Benadin. I don't know what the show would be about.
we decide if you're Ben or Din. This is what happens at the end of the show. We tell you this.
Yes.
Give us 5 stars. Subscribe. Like. Review. Radu. Subscribe. Write us a review. Give us 5 stars. Tell your friends. And if you got a movie you want us to watch this week, and you got enough money, let us know. Tweet at us at FoodCourtCast. We'll probably watch the Planet of the Apes movie.
Yes, The Kingdom. I need to watch War. I haven't watched War.
You haven't watched War? War's pretty good.
No, I've only seen the first. Well, because wait, there's Rise, Dawn, and then there's a third one that I did see. What is that?
I think that's War.
That's War?
I don't know.
Maybe I
Who
did
knows?
see it. I thought there was somehow another one that I missed.
It's a weird series where I like all of them, but I don't remember what happens in any of them.
Yeah.
No clue.
Yeah.
But it's cool. They go, I'm a fucking monkey.
I remember Dawn being my favorite. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
The one, whatever one had Koba, the evil monkey. That was awesome. Oh,
Koba.
Great. And then the
Koba
third one, which is what's the one where they start learning how to use guns? Is that the second one?
I think that's the second one.
Okay, I swear I didn't see
the third one is where they're like a full-on military organization.
Okay, I've not seen that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. They
Yeah,
got
I've not
horses.
seen it.
They got
No.
machine guns. It's pretty fun.
Don't remember it.
Check it out. Check it out.
I got to, and I want to see Furiosa.
Oh, that's coming up in like 2 weeks, 3
I'm
weeks.
excited.
I don't know. Who knows?
After watching Fury Road, I was like, oh, I love this world. I forgot how much fun it is. So I think it'll be good.
It's like watching Megastorm.
Yeah, it is. I love it.
Mampy,
Yeah.
so thanks so much. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
Thank you for watching or listening. We love you so much.
Yes.
Tweet at us for any reason. We don't care why. At FoodCourtCast. On behalf of Mampy Hikes, I am Sean Parrott saying to you, bon appetit.
Bye.